All right, video focus question. Does teaching English in Japan suck? Well, I mean, really, it's just a job, like any other job. So by that very definition, sure, there's potential for things to suck, but you know, as with any other job, a lot of that depends on the type of company you're working for and the people you're working with. So there's some variance there for sure. Yeah, I've had good and bad experiences with companies and people alike over here. Some of it was good, some of it sucked. But I've also had that, you know, the same deal back home in the US. As for the industry in itself, of course, it's in Japan, so you're going to be dealing with elements that you wouldn't be in your own country, namely the language and the culture. So Japanese culture has a, you know, it's very Japanese, to put it simply. So there are some elements people deal with here as far as, you know, how you're expected to interact with the customers and how they interact with you, because you are the product. And so some of those elements can upset people. People get the feeling like there's some kind of, you know, monkey on a chain, or, you know, dancing bear, etc. And okay, to be fair, there is kind of that element. You are a novelty as a native speaker. And that's something students are paying for a lot of times. They want to learn from and speak with a native speaker. So by virtue of being who you are a sellable product here in Japan. And how you feel about that, you know, it kind of varies. But it helps to remember that it's a massive industry here. It's very, very well established. There are companies spending the equivalent of millions and millions of dollars on it. So, you know, if you are over here and you're feeling like this sucks, well, one thing you can remember is you're not the only one stuck in an office kind of wondering what the deal is. It really is just a job, you know. Don't let it get to you. The standards and requirements are dictated by the industry itself, by what customers will and won't pay for, like any other type of deal. So I've learned to accept that and you know, focus on work while I'm at work for the most part, and you know, let it go. But you know, a lot of the complaints people do make are points that exist. Now, whether they're worth complaining about or spending so much energy on is kind of a different issue. So that's not to knock anybody out there. You know, I've had times at work where I've just really not enjoyed it. You know, ludicrous expectations from above and ludicrous lack of performance from below. But that was outside Eikaiwa. In Eikaiwa, what you find, students, the general system is they take one class a week for somewhere around an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes maybe an hour and a half, but usually around an hour. And for a lot of students, that will be the majority of their study time. You know, people are busy just like you and I, so it can be difficult to study outside of class, being busy with your life and all. And of course, they're using a totally different language most of the time outside of class. So yes, you will get students who don't progress, or who don't really seem to try, or who keep making the same mistakes over and over again, no matter how many times you correct them. And yes, you will get students who don't want to be there. And yes, you will get office staff kind of trying to show you off to customers. But that doesn't always happen. That's pretty common with the bigger companies. And yeah, I mean, there are things that are not, you know, not so cool, but in the end, it's not such a bad deal if you can, you know, find somewhere that's decent. So, also, one point, yeah, you're a teacher, that's your job title, you work in a school, but ESL in Japan, especially Eikaiwa's, it's technically education, and you will focus on that as your job, but it's also very much involved with just, you know, classic Japanese customer service. So one of the words they use here is edutainment. Okay, so that should tell you what you're getting yourself into. And there are some people who kind of feel like, you know, that's below them, or they don't like dancing with kids, basically. So, but I do. I've learned to enjoy it. But you know, at the end of the day, your students, no matter what their level, are your customers. And I've learned to just kind of focus on the human interaction point. There's always something kind of interesting or fun. And at the very least, you can, you know, give someone a positive experience. I have a lady who comes here. I just had her today, actually. And she's in her mid-70s. And no intention of going abroad. No intention of even really improving in English. And she says every class, I forgot what we studied last week. I can't understand what's going on, but she just likes to come and study and chat and get out of the house, you know. And that's what a lot of students go to Eikaiwa for. It's not always just to improve their English. It's often more of a social thing, you know, something to do to get their minds off of work and to get out of the house. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then, again, it's not to knock anybody out there who doesn't like their job. I've been in jobs here in Japan where I really didn't enjoy it. So, you know, good luck finding something else would be my advice. So, does teaching English in Japan suck? No, teaching English in Japan is just a job. Do jobs suck? Yes, sometimes. Okay, the whole arrangement is weird if you ask me. Okay, but please don't make the mistake of identifying who you are with your job. All right, I've always thought people who do that must either A, have like a really, really nice job, or B, be really, really confused. Okay, so those are my 2 bits. Thanks for watching.